to start, we want you, for all of these skills, to do them in 3 different ways. You want a static, where you're standing still. You would like to be doing something directional, meaning I'm going to run to the right, I'm going to run forward, I'm going to pull the ball backward, and then the last one is working on doing it on a sprint. So that involves direction, but I mean like directional might just mean touch and then change direction. Static is completely still. Sprinting is obviously taking off on the go. I'm going to show you the first skill. The first one is going to be an L pull. You're going to be in a reaching position. You will pull and hop with the opposite foot. So right foot's pulling, left foot is hopping, and then tap behind with right. So if I'm in my static position, you might have your feet moving, reach for it, pull with one, hop with the other, push behind, and then tap forward. Okay, so you're going to complete that on both feet. It's always best to start with an L pull at an angle. Start with it in one of these sides of your body versus having it directly in front of you. Okay, so again, left foot is reaching, right foot is hopping as I pull. If you do that at the wrong time, you're going to be like this, and now you're stuck and you're trying to pull and you can't. It's gone. The ball will run away. So that's our first one, is an L pull. The second one we're going to work on is a Cruyff. So it's a one-touch version of that. Again, you're in a reaching position. The ball is out to the side. You are going to work on reaching for it with your right foot. So my left foot is back. If I did nothing else, it would just look like that. Just a touch across my body, inside cut. Now, the part that you're going to add with your left foot, as you cut it, your left foot jumps forward and the ball goes behind your body. So my left foot is protecting it from what would be a defender. Okay? So again, if I did that a little bit faster, reach, cut, jump. Faster all together. Same thing on the left side. I'm going to start in a reaching position. You should look exactly how I look. Left foot taps it. If you did nothing else, it just goes right in front of your body. Cut, jump. I'm reaching. As soon as I touch it, I want my left foot to move forward to protect it, and now I run away. Okay? Again, to put it faster, feet are moving. It almost looks like you're jumping into it. I'm taking off in that position, jump at it, turn and go. Okay? Third one is going to be a combination of V's. There's so many different ways that you can do a V, and I'm going to show you a few of them. Practice as many as you can. Okay? To start, if I want to do a right foot V, it's taking the ball from the left side of my body and then pushing out to the right. I'm doing that with right foot. So I would reach across, pull it back, push it forward, and now I've made the shape of a V. Something I will talk about a lot with you girls is making sure when you pull it back, if the ball is going backward, you need to go backward. So this is not correct. It could work, but I want you getting in the habit of, if the ball comes to me, I go back away from it, and then I'm pushing out the next direction. Okay, so the third thing that I'm going to touch on here is your plant foot. So as I pull with the right, and I want to go to my right, I need my left foot to be facing this way to help me go. Okay, so if I do this, I'm not ready to run. Like that foot's still over that way, and I need to be ready to take off the next direction. Okay, so I pull, hop, that foot is facing this way, I'm ready to go. Or it's pull and run, and then push away. Okay, so now let's get into the actual skill of what you're doing. It could be bottom to inside. It could be bottom of the foot to pull with an outside touch away. It could be bottom of the foot to pull with a bottom push away. Okay, so you have different options there. Now spice that up a little bit more, and now you're on the right side and you want to go to the left. Use your right foot. You could go bottom to inside to make your V. You could go bottom to what I would consider outside to make your V. You could do bottom to bottom again. Ugh, stuck. bottom to push away. You need to get comfortable with some of these weird movements. Now, you could then take it and say, okay, I want to do a 2-footed V. Pull right, push left. Okay, and that push could be different ways. It could be bottom to inside. It could be bottom to bottom. There's different ways to get out of it, making the shape of a V. The next one is going to be your hook turn. This is a personal favorite that all of you need to get good at. Think of a pullback, but we're doing it in a different way. So I'm going to touch the ball out to my side to start here, my static position, so you can see that I'm side on. I'm going to imagine there's a defender here on my left side. And the first hook turn that I'm going to do is going to be grabbing it with my left. So look at my position. I'm reaching. My right foot is directly behind the ball. I'm reaching for the ball. Since my left foot is on it, I'm going to jump my butt towards the left to protect the ball with my body going towards the defender. So as I pull, I jump. Notice the shape of my feet. They're in a running position, and now I would take off the next direction. You could also do this with the same thought of where to jump. I'm going to do that one more time before I get into the next one. Reaching, pull, defender on this side. I want to shield them. I've got my feet in a running position and go. Okay? So if left foot was on it, I'm going to say this a couple different ways. Left foot was on it. We said you could jump your butt to the left if that helps you understand. Notice the ball didn't go behind me though when I turned. It's staying in front of me to shield it. The other thing you could be telling yourself is turn over your right shoulder. Okay? If left foot's on it, I turn to my right and follow the ball in front of my body. Okay? The other part, you don't have to shield the defender all the time. Okay, so now the defender is still on my left. I've got the ball on my right. My left foot is now behind the ball. I'm reaching with right. They are here on my side. Pull it back to you and then go forward. It's the same hook turn. The thing that I want you to remember though on this one, when you're not thinking about shielding, I want to go forward. And if forward is that way, I don't always want to be doing this because a good defender might still make you go backward. So I want to be able to face them and see my positive options. When I pull with right, straight back into my body. My feet are in an athletic stance. So I was right foot on the ball. I turned left, which put me in this stance. And now I'm ready to run. And the difference I'll show you is, let's say that you did the same turn, the same direction, but with left foot right now. So I still tried to face forward. This is what your feet are going to look like, and doesn't make it wrong. You can do this, but you can't do it at full speed. You're not in balance. So when we were working on a hook turn, again, static, if I just did it fast, I would be here, no foot on the ball, I'm just kind of in my own space, reach, hook, go. And then you could take that into a directional dribble. So now I take off here, hook turn, come back. You need to make sure you're turning the correct way to where your feet are getting in that shape. Okay? Remember, if it's right foot on the ball, it's turn left. If it's left foot on the ball, turn right. Okay? Ball stays in front of your body. Last one is going to be a Zidane turn. This is, you hear Zidane, don't worry about Cruyff, Zidane, these are just players' last names, right? So they're professional players. It doesn't need to sound fancy. They just use that skill a lot. If you've ever heard of a Maradona or around the world, the Zidane turn is very similar to that. Essentially, the best way to explain it is if I'm going to my right, when I finish the skill, I'm going to my left. Okay? If I'm going forward, I finish the skill, I'm going backward. It's a 180-degree turn. So to start, we're going to do it where you're going to need a little bit of movement. So I say static for this one, you're going to need to have tapped the ball. Okay? So we're going to say that I want to go to my left. Right? So I want to go in this direction over here. I'm going to tap the ball forward because, again, it needs to be from a reaching position. I'm going to stop it with my left because I want to go left. Okay? The moment I stop it, I'm going to hop my foot in front, leaving enough space for my heel to the ball. I do not want to be this close. Okay? Get farther away. And now, I want to go left, but my right foot's closest to the ball. I'm gonna turn my head over my right shoulder and look at my right foot and pull and spin, and it takes me to my left while shielding the defender as well. So I'll show you that again in slow motion without words. And then I would be out the next direction. 3 things to think about. If you're doing this, the first touch is meant to gain possession. So you want to get the ball. That's why you would do this skill. The second one is meant to shield. The third one is meant to put your back between the defender and the ball, and you're spinning to peel off of them. Okay? So you're going to hear this called a stop, hop, pull, and spin, because that's literally what you're doing. Stop the ball, hop off of it, pull and spin your body. You're going to hear it called a Zidane turn. Some coaches call it a Maradona. But those are the core skills that we really want you to have that we think are really beneficial. Okay, so practice those. Again, you want to do them in a static position. You want to do them where you're going a direction. That doesn't mean you're going fast, just a direction. Get yourself dribbling, and then you want to do them at full speed. Okay, and that's where many of us need a lot of work, is going full speed and knowing you're probably not going to get it right. Okay, but you're going to work through those mistakes to get it right. Okay, enjoy those. For striking, we want you working on actual shots on goal. We want you working on a driven ball, whether that's on the ground or whether that's kind of in the air. And we want you working on crosses, something that's more lofted. And doing that with both feet, and doing that from a static position with a slight touch, and doing that from a more urgent position. It doesn't have to be a sprint. You know, you can practice striking on a sprint, but we want you to really just get into the intensity of it. Okay, so when I say static, it's more about, you know, tapping the ball out and then taking a second and then going, right, which is not as game-like. When I'm talking more about the sprint or the dynamic movement, it's more boom, I'm gone, right? I want to go really fast. Okay, so on the striking part, there's 12 things we talk about. Okay, if you're striking for a shot to goal, and I'm going to go through them very quickly. First one, if I'm striking straight at you, I'm going to go back away from the ball, and I'm going to go out to the left for my right foot. Okay, so I'm out to the left so I can strike with right. If I were to run straight forward from here, I should not be landing at the ball. Okay, so straight forward would be to the left of the ball. I'm turning my hips towards the ball, and now that's number 1, angle of approach. So having an angle to where you're not straight behind the ball. Number 2 is going to be your sprint, just building momentum. Number 3 is going to be where you place your plant foot, so your foot placement. A lot of coaches are going to encourage this. I'm going to discourage this. Okay, I need you to think about having some room away from the ball to actually strike. So my rule of thumb is turning your other foot without hitting the ball. It should be comfortably fit between your foot and the ball. Okay. Now, you can move it up a little bit. You can turn it in a little bit. You can bring it back. That's all up to you. This is, again, your foot placement of what works for you. The 4th component is sinking in on your knee. Okay, you need to bend your knee to have a little more explosive movement when you strike. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, when I'm going, angle of approach. Sprint is number 2. Foot placement is number 3. Number 4 happens at the same time of bending my knee. Now, I'm going to go into 5, 6, and 7 right away. I'm going to go heel to butt. I'm going to kick my toes back, and I'm going to take my leg back. And I'll do it from this angle. Now, if I were striking the opposite so you can see it, I've planted, I sunk my knee. There's my 3 things right away. So I've got space between my knees. They're not here. I've got space. That's my knee going back. I've got my heel close to my butt, and I've got my toes not down, but back. Okay, I want them kicked up and back. Now, for number 8, since I took my knee away, I cannot strike from this position unless I want to chip the ball. So remember, this is a shot on goal right now. So I'm here. Number 8 is driving your knee back forward. Okay, number 9 is extending from your knee only. So notice my ankle is not kicking up, right? It's not coming towards the ball. My toes are back, and number 9 is leg extension. Number 10 is going to be kicking your toes down and out. So if I'm facing you all, my toes should not be straight down. I was taught this as a kid. It is not exactly how the top level people strike the ball, okay? So even sometimes when you're taught something, you might be doing it a different way. And that's what I found out is kicking my toes down. So my toes are down, but they're not straight down. They're down and out to the side, which exposes the biggest bone that comes off your big toe. Okay, and that's why I'm not in shoes right now, is to show you a little bit different, what my foot actually looks like. Okay, so as I make contact, that's number 10. Number 11 is going to be swinging high, right? I want to be able to get this leg all the way up through the ball. And number 12 is going to be jumping off the ground, and then coaches say land on your striking foot, follow through. I'm just saying swing high and jump, right? Whatever you got to do to get your right leg through the ball, but simultaneously this left leg needs to be jumping, and then you're landing back on your striking leg. So I'm going to walk through that pretty slow. I've already got my angle, and I'm going to do it all combined. If I were to break that down and you need help with it, angle, sprint, plant foot, bend, take those 3 things away, knee, heel, and toes, drive back forward. What's my contact look like? Oh, I'm too straight down, or oh, I'm too far open. Fix this stuff, walk through it. Okay, now I'm back here, here. Those walkthroughs are so important. Okay, and it's kind of silly, takes a lot of time, but if you can break that down in those 12 components, you're gonna have a great strike. And when you know what they are, you start actually making sense of them, and you're gonna have a better chance of success versus just being like, I don't know how to strike, I just do what I know, versus learning something new. And you guys need to kind of dig into a few components, because you miss 1 or 2 and you have a far greater chance of not succeeding at a strike versus digging into those 12, okay? I'm going to take a second to show you the deliveries that we would like to be able to see you. When I say deliveries, the way that you strike a ball, the way we would like to see you be able to deliver a ball in a game. Okay, so first one is going to be driving a ball on the ground. Touch it out, and then this is what it should look like. Okay, so it's a ball that stays driven with your laces. You're going to need to hit higher on the ball. Find yourself somewhere in the middle of the ball. If I'm coming at it, staying tall is going to be a really important one. And then I'm also, look at where my knee is at in placement. It's over top the ball, and I'm coming more down at it, but not down into it. I don't want to hit the top of it. I'm just coming down through it and staying as tall as I can. Notice there was no jump on this one. It's not about jumping at the end. This is just a driven, think about driven pass to your teammate. Okay. Second delivery. Going to be that same ball of driven, but now you're thinking of hitting your teammate to where they would have to kind of like receive it about knee height. Okay, so they would use like the inside or the laces or the thigh to receive this ball. Okay, same thing, but now we've got to come underneath of it a little bit more and still make sure it's driven. We need to make sure that we are coming underneath the ball for contact. So if I'm here, my thought is a little more reaching. I'm a little more underneath of it, so I'm still getting laces to pop under that ball and swing up a little bit more. Okay. Third delivery is going to be a chip. We want to be able to see you chip the ball, cross the ball, get it some backspin on it, playing it into maybe a target forward, playing it into the box for people to, if you're taking a corner kick, you're taking a free kick, something that we need to be able to see. And again, this is on both feet, but we need to be able to see you drive it on the ground, drive it in the air to a teammate, drive it, shot on goal, but then also, which we just went through, and then also chipping or crossing. So this one is all about, we talked about our toes back. This one is about bringing your toes up and under the ball, and being able to, there's no jump, you're kind of sitting back, you're reaching for the ball a little bit, because you, again, want to be hitting underneath this ball and popping it up. So I'm going to be aiming for something above the goal. Okay? Notice my body shape. The first thing I'm doing when I'm getting in, look how far, this is my legitimate plant foot for this. Look how far that is from what we're traditionally taught. And then now my body shape is more here, my toes are coming under. I'm still making contact on my laces, but it's that inner part of your laces. So you have your off your big toe, runs up, there's a big bone right there, that's what we're going for. Somewhere in that area that we want to pop underneath the ball. So look at my body shape. It's not about how high you're swinging up here. That will help you get a little bit more distance on it, but it's going to be the pop into the ball. It's going to be your swing from the high point into the ball, and how much of it, it's like a hack. Like how quick can you hack at the ball and underneath of it. Those of you that play golf, this is like when you're chipping the ball. You're not sitting there doing some big full swing. It's just come down to the ball and pop underneath of it. Same thing applies here. My foot didn't even leave the ground. It's just that downswing from here to there to be able to get underneath the ball. I will take you through a shot, an actual shot, so this one's more geared to go to goal. Notice the jumping, the difference on this one. And remember, those of you that we're seeing as goal scorers, you're going to need to be able to find the back of the net. So there's striking component, and then there's the actual finishing component. I'm going to try to put the two of them together for this one and hit it into that bottom left corner. Okay, so it has pace, it has all the technique, but then it also has the placement. Okay, for this video, you're going to work on passing and receiving, whether it's with a board, a wall, a teammate. If it's someone who's not going to actually be playing soccer, so let's say mom, dad, brother, sister, they need to be rolling it into you. But if not, what you're focusing on is your speed of play and the differences in the touches you're taking, okay? So you might have an example. I'm going to go through a few different things where it's right foot only, one touch, maybe you do 10 in a row, maybe you do 30 seconds. It would look something like this. We want to see A, that you can play, but B, your footwork. Okay, so yeah, I mean, this looks fine. So if I just stand here and do this, it's all great. It's not challenging. Start to get the pace going and start to get your feet actually moving. So the difference is now I'm actually going to find how fast can I play, and now I make the mistake. Okay? So challenge yourself to where it's not just perfect, but there's legitimate, like I'm training, I'm working hard, and then I screwed up. Okay? You could do that same thing on the left foot. You could start to mix in where it's right foot inside, right foot outside. Okay? So it could go inside, shape your body. I'm just turning back and forth. You might start slow for all of these and for every video we've shown, but then you might go into more training mode. Okay, you're doing that with left foot as well. Okay, if someone is rolling the ball to you, or you're working with a partner and you're doing, back and forth, and you're waiting on them, keep your feet moving, keep thinking, keep trying to stay in tune with the way you would train. Now, you might go into right foot, left foot, outside, outside. You can come up with these different quick patterns. I mean, heck, it could be bottom of the foot, inside, bottom of the foot. It seems odd that there's so many different ways that you could train this to get better at things that are just different, unique, uncomfortable. Two touch, same thing. You could go inside, inside. This doesn't look very challenging once you understand it, train. You might then go inside right, pass left. Inside left, pass right. Inside right, pass left. Constantly working on shaping your body back and forth. Go into a training mode with that as well. You might go outside right, pass right. Outside left, pass left. You might go bottom right, pass right. Bottom right, pass right. Laces right, pass right. Laces right, pass right. Laces left, pass left. Bottom right, bottom left, pass left. You can change this stuff as much as you want. There's so many different ways you could do it, but we want you getting comfortable playing in one touch, playing in two touch, and doing that in different ways, okay? So take the time to map out how you want to do it. I would encourage, if you want to make a board, there's ways you can do that, I can tell you. If you want to get up here and train with us, that would be beneficial because we have all this environment, technology, the products, the boards, etc. or you can just do it with a partner. Do it with someone at home, okay? Awesome.